Question 22 asks the students to explain how socio-cultural, socio-economic and environmental determinants impact on one health condition studied other than CVD or cancer. Some key things here for the question straight away. We need to know the key term obviously being explained. We also want to look at, or we need to be aware of, social, cultural, socio-economic and environmental determinants. They must be included, the three of them. There must be a relationship between the three in our answer. And we must show how these determinants impact on one health condition studied other than CVD or cancer. So straight away when you read this question, if you answer CVD or cancer, you're going to be wrong. If we go to our syllabus and we have a quick look at our syllabus, we'll know that the area that they're talking about in relation to the question is this one here, looking at the mental health problems. So injury, chronic disease. So we've got cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, respiratory disease, injury, mental health. We can't talk about cardiovascular disease. We can't answer in relation to cancer. So it has to be either diabetes, respiratory disease, injury, mental health problems and illness. If we look at a poor response first of all, or one that really hasn't answered the question in a way that we would like it to, this is also being a 5-mark question too, so it's worth 5 marks here. So some things to look at here. First of all, the thing that gets me is that it's pleasing to see that there is some underlining, making some things stand out. So from a marking point of view, I can see socio-cultural, I can say socio-economic. Right, so I know that 2 of the 3 have been included. We've got obesity up the top, so we're looking at the answer relating to obesity. However, we know that that's not really what we're after when we go back to our syllabus. It needs to be one of these 4 areas here. So not obesity. Just looking at our answer, again, the structure of our answer is not very good. We've got some underlining. The socio-cultural effect talks about individuals. It could be the culture of an individual. Doesn't really talk too specifically about what we need to be relating to in the answer. Again, it needs to relate back to, in this case, obesity. We've got socio-economic. Talks about money. Again, some very general answers. If we go further down, what we'll notice is that environmental is actually going to be in our answer. But because it is not underlined, it doesn't stand out. So we don't even know that it exists until we start to have a look at it and read the answer. So again, just a very general question, answer, hasn't really answered the question looking at the 3 different areas, right, determinants and how they impact on one health condition other than CVD or cancer. Obesity not really being one, hence gives us the 2 out of 5 for a pretty poor response. If we were to have a look at a better answer, just some things that I noticed straight away is that this student has written out the syllabus dot point, CVD, cancer, diabetes, respiratory disease, injury, mental illness. He knows you can't talk about CVD or cancer. He's even put an asterisk next to diabetes, so that's what his answer is going to relate to. We come up and let's have a look at this answer. So straight away for me, I can see that things that are pleasing for me is the use of underlining, or in this case highlighting to stand things out. So we know that diabetes is the health condition that we're going to be looking at, which comes under the syllabus, so we know that we're on the right track. Also, automatically we have socioeconomic status, environmental determinants, socio-cultural. The 3 areas, there's examples for each of them. Okay, examples being included. Examples, they're all in there. So this person has been able to fulfill the aspects of what the question's asking us to do. Explain how socio-cultural, socio-economic and environmental determinants impact on one health condition studied other than CVD or cancer. And that's a good answer. Again, all the lines have been filled out. The syllabus has been written up properly for it. Just an example of some of the answers that could have been given. In this case, we've got diabetes. This is from the marking guidelines. There's a number of areas there for diabetes. Mental health, some of the relations here for socio-cultural, socio-economic and environmental. Okay, socio-cultural, family breakdown, lack of employment, risk factors for immediate environment. Okay. We go a bit further down, we look at injury, the socio-cultural, injury for young people. Okay. Socio-economically disadvantaged people for injury have higher rates of hospitalisation and environmental technology. Okay, some positive ways there. And the last one being respiratory disease, socio-cultural, socio-economic and environmental. So there's some examples there of things we need to include in our answer. Go back to this one again. We can see that all the lines have been filled in. The content's there, the structure's in place. It's quite a good answer. Just some general feedback. Looking at this answer here, the question was quite well answered by most candidates. Average responses, which we saw, outlined examples from the socio-cultural, socio-economic and environmental determinants. The question wasn't asking us to do that. The links and relationship provided in these examples were the key to better responses, as students were able to establish how the determinants would impact, in a positive or a negative way, which we mentioned before, on one health condition. Unfortunately, some students failed to read the question correctly and used cancer or CVD as their health condition, even though the question said that we weren't able to do that. Other students made general sweeping comments regarding determinants and failed to apply these to one health condition. So just coming back to the question again, people struggled with this answer because they were unable to include socio-cultural, socio-economic or environmental determinants, and they were unable to relate the three of those to one health condition studied. Or if they did relate to a health condition studied, they related to CVD or cancer, even though the question says not to use CVD or cancer.